Hey everybody, I just wanted to share with you my testimony. So, I've been a Christian all my life. Since I was a little girl, I have believed in God. I have been raised in a house where we went to church every Sunday, and I believe in God since I was a child, but that's not to say that everything was perfect. I lived what I considered a double life as a child up until my preteen years. Basically, I was a Christian, going to church, being a follower of God, but at the same time, I was still living in sin. And yes, you could say that's just the typical way that Christians live, that we live in sin, and that obviously we're not supposed to live in sin. And it wasn't really of my choice type of a sin, because I didn't understand that it was a sin. I didn't understand that I had a choice in the matter. I didn't understand that what was going on was wrong until I was a preteen. So that's how I was basically living a double life. And it literally did feel like a double life because of the fact that I would be myself and enjoying, childhood. And then all of a sudden, I was going to church and celebrating God and being happy about God and ecstatic about God. Um, that double life started to end when I was a preteen, and I entered into my teenage years, and I still was very faithful in going to church and enjoyed church. And also in my teens is whenever I started feeling called by God to do more, to be more. And that was whenever I felt that I was called to be a pastor, or basically a pastor. And after my teenage years, and I entered into college, I wasn't even pursuing being a pastor. I was in college and not as close to God as I would have liked. I did meet a person in college that actually, it was a female friend who ended up uh, getting me excited for God again, and it did help and encouraged a lot of getting back with God and sharing God. And it was very uncomfortable, put it that way. Then I graduated and I looked for my first job, found my first job, and just was living life. Wasn't an ideal Christian, I guess you could say. And then I went to graduate school. Yes, this is part of my testimony, believe it or not. I went to graduate school to basically pursue that pastor's path, and graduated, still was working at the job that I had been working at, and I found out basically that what I went to school for was a potential opportunity to be a pastor. It wasn't signed, sealed, and delivered type of a deal, because I guess you could say I didn't do all my research, but either way, I graduated and went on with life. I had various jobs, and just never, it, I wasn't really passionate anymore about God. And eventually got married. One of the best days of my life, honestly. And I got married in a church, in the house of God. And I have had a very supportive husband who has encouraged and does encourage me to pursue. And he's part of the reason why I'm doing this video today. So I kind of lost my zealous for God, I would say. I wasn't pursuing God as much as I could have and should have been. But God was still there. God was still a vital part of my life and still is a part of my life. And the other part to it is that I was in a job that was bugging me down, basically, and stopping me and preventing me from actually doing what I need to do, which is come on here and share the gospel. And I have left that job, and I'm still adjusting to being without a job, combined with adjusting to how to do this. So I thank you for your patience and your dedication to coming back to this. And I will say, in the past couple of months, I ended up going to another new church and another church. Not necessarily, it is newer to me, but been going to another church, and everything just clicked. The passion, the fire for God just returned, and it really helped me make that decision with my husband to pursue this full time. And yeah, I'm struggling with it still. Not so much I don't know. I'm just being real with you, and I appreciate your patience with me, and I hope that over time I continue to improve and get better and become more dedicated and more passionate towards this, because this is what I have felt that God's called me to do, to be. I may not have the title. I may never get the title, but that's okay. It's not about the title to me for being a pastor. It's about sharing God and his amazing and awesome passion and what he does for us. And if you haven't encountered him yet, I truly, truly pray that you do. And I truly hope that you will keep coming back and that you'll be open to experience him, because he's truly the only thing that has ever gotten me through everything in my life. And I'm not saying that I don't have people that support me. I'm not saying that I don't have family and friends that have been there through the thick and the thin. It's just, he's been through it all with me. And he's had my back 100% of the time. He's walked through the fires with me. He understands me better than anybody, and even myself at times. And I do believe he does bring people into your life, like your spouse, like your parents, your brothers and sisters and friends. He does bring them into your life to impact you and change you. But at the same time, is that at the end of the day, without him, I'm nothing. And I know without a doubt that if it was not for God, I would not be here, whether it be alive or whether it be in this moment sharing this word with you, because every good thing and every bad thing I've ever gone through, he's been there. And it hasn't been easy. And I'm sure that you can attest in you of yourself how your struggle has been, how your life hasn't been perfect, and how your life has been a challenge. But if you look back on times whenever God has been there for you, I'm sure you've seen that you wouldn't have made it through those moments if it wasn't for him, that you wouldn't have gotten through the ups and the downs without him, that you wouldn't have survived certain days and certain moments if it wasn't for him. And I give him all the praise and the glory and the honor, because it's truly in him that I am here today and that I am able to do what I'm able to do. And I hope that as time goes on that I continue to bring him to you, and that you find that solace that I have found again, that passion that I have found for him. And I pray that you continue to be blessed and be a blessing to others, and that you will seek him and find him and know him in ways that you've never known him before, because he is truly, truly an amazing individual, an amazing God. And I hope you have a great and blessed day. That's all I have for you today. Bye, guys.